Okay, hello. I'm sorry. 15 minutes late, but had to something unexpected. Had to take somebody home from work and stuff. So and it took a while because they live a long way. So um, just got back and everything and settled. And, so sorry, y'all. So anyway, get started in a few minutes. I had some things to. So a few art stories. I had more than this, but I'll probably show them later on. So you just gotta wait on this YouTube to catch up. So and expect the unexpected. So and if I know what's going on top of the mountain, I'm gonna take my camera and take a few pictures too. That I know. So, anyways, it's really pretty up there so, on the parkway. So. And saw some cool graffiti too. So I was like, damn it, figures. I don't have my camera. So it was a cool octopus. So, but it'll still be there. So, uh, looks like it's been there a while already. So, but it was really neat. So, anyway, like I said, I am late. So, um, and they're playing games too. So, anyways, give me just a minute here to anybody. Anyway, like I said, I'm late. So, I'm sorry. Oops, clicked the wrong button. Crap. And the wrong button again. So, anyways, okay. Excuse me. Okay. Next. Okay. I'll just leave it. Okay. Anyway, I'll go over that stuff I got here later. So, um, so I only got five up. I got like one, two, three, four, five, six or seven more besides that. So, uh, I thought it was interesting stuff. Anyway, uh, so hello y'all. Sorry I'm late. So again, so uh, if anybody wants to join here, let me know, and I will send the link out, whatever. So I can go ahead and copy there. So oh god, she scared me. She came from out of nowhere. Cat scared me. She's really good at that. So anyway, I'm sorry, girl. You have to move. Thank you. Preferably not with your butt in my face. You have to get down, buddy. Okay. Anyways, hey, David. So, yeah, I got it. Like I said, I'm running late, so and I had to actually get here to spill some paint out. Uh, anyway, and some of it's dried up there, so. Uh, anyway, glue all over my fingers. Yay! Give me just a minute there. So, uh, uh, see, I didn't move anymore. I'm gonna right now. Okay. I lost all my yellow. Anyways, give me just a minute here. I had to cut these on and stuff. Like I said, I'm behind. So just a minute. Okay. If anybody else wants to join, just let me know there. So, okay. Okay.
Hey, give me some of that part.
There that went. Okay. Depending on Google, and they're telling me. You know Google. Take your sweet time. I'm gonna get some more stuff out here. I think we're driving it now. Like I said, I'm behind here, y'all. I'm sorry. So I hope everybody had a good day and everything. So it was a good day here too. Yeah. Um, and the unexpected trip up the mountain. So, but at least I know the vehicle does get up the mountain. So that's um, third. I need to adjust here. I'm sorry. Not all. Like I said, I'm so sorry. I'm really disorganized right now. So late. Okay. Now, uh, you're not William Shatner.
She said, I'm not. No. Tell me that's not right.
Hey, Foxy. Sorry, I moved my camera there. Okay. Okay. Okie dokie. Like I said, anybody wants to join, let me know there so I can see that you good today. So not too hot. So just Oh, I don't know what I'm painting yet. So that's what I'm sitting here doing. So I got my paints out and stuff. So, um, anyway, shit. I should uh, trying to wait on it. You know, he gets in here first. So, uh, everything. So, uh, anyway. Oh, I saw 2 baby deers the day before yesterday. It was so cool. What's today? It was Wednesday evening. So, it was really cool. They still had their spots too. So, that was really neat. Like I'm sure Mom was watching them from the woods. So, they were crossing the little field in front of my house. It wasn't that. It was like as wide across as my living room here. But it was really cool. So, that was neat. So, okay. Well, I'm thinking I gotta refill my tobacco here. So, like I said, I'm behind. Anyway, I'm gonna mute just for a sec. Okay. Oh man, that sucks. Not good weather there. It's been cloudy, so I guess that's why it ain't been so hot here today. Thought it was gonna rain at one point, but it never did. So, dang, it's sitting on my hair. So anyway, I hope it would do. So I was gonna do this earlier today, but um, stuff comes up and everything. So, anyway. So, and there's baby.
Hi there. How's it going?
Hello.
Oh,
That's good.
good.
Good. We got a car now, so yay.
Oh, dear. Right. What sort of car is it? What sort of car?
It's a Honda CRV, little SUV.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I know the ones you mean. Right.
Yeah,
right.
neat little car. So. Oh, 4-wheel drive too, so that's good.
Yeah. That's pretty good if you want to get off the beaten track.
Oh yeah.
Or the beaten main highway, I mean.
Yeah. There's a lot of dirt roads around here too, so that's good.
I'll stick to my bicycle, thanks, but I'm hoping I'm not going to have to use my bicycle too much now because I've been thrown out now of the place I'm living.
Oh damn.
I've got exactly until the 20th to remove myself from the premises.
That sucks. Where you going?
It sucks because it's very short notice. It's not enough notice to get a new place to live. It took me 2.5 years to find this place. Yeah. I've lived here for 8 years. Damn. And now suddenly they've thrown me out.
I've had no notice before too. It's just like get out. So,
oh dear. No, I've never been thrown out of a place before because usually when I'm at home I just mind my own business, you know.
Yeah. When you got kids too, man, that's really terrible of people to do like that. You know?
Yeah,
especially when they know you're having troubles and stuff. You know, financial troubles. You know that people they don't care. It's been years ago that happened. So.
Yeah. No, that's it just shows you that could be there's a lot more room for caring and sharing on this planet the way it is at the moment, isn't it? So I do have a little something that I concocted today. If I just find where on earth I've written it, because I can't remember it what I wrote.
Yeah.
There we go. Coming right up. I wrote a small poem, as I do sometimes when it comes to me. I call it Plunging Through. A broken heart, soul-ripping feeling tied to the past. Shake loose the noose pulling me apart. What is gone is still here. A shadow bridging time's illusion, strapped to the mast, and plunging ship's anchor sinking deep through the vast worlds of vision. Don't let the past be forever my prison. So there you go. That's the end of that.
That's really good. I like that.
Well, hopefully it describes itself, but you know, it's something that kind of came to me today, reflecting upon, you know, why I feel like shit. And one of the reasons I often feel like shit, more often than not, is that it's things haunting me from the past.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, I mean, music is I use music as self-therapy for that. You know, you express your sufferings, you express your pains, and it gives you some relief.
Yeah.
It certainly beats Big Pharma, and I made a terrible mistake recently. I ended up doing something that I usually would oppose to doing, but I got so down that I ended up doing what a lot of people seem to do these days, and popping loads of pills, and then swigging down tons of beer on top of those pills.
Oh God.
Yeah, and it's really now that I don't. Of course, I'm not going to take any more of these bloody awful things. I was just so depressed. I was almost, not suicidal, but
Right.
feeling like along those lines. Although it's not something I would do.
Right.
And so it just goes to show the after effects of having gone on those pills. Now the reasons I went to, and did all that nonsense in the first place, I only did it about 3 times, and now they're at least as bad as they were when they started, but in fact worse. Of course, that's how pharma is designed, because it wants you to come back for more. So I got a taster of that. So many people I know in the area are pill poppers that it's just I had to get a taste of what they were on, and not to be recommended, folks. Stay away from, if you ask me, stay away from Big Pharma. Stay away from that. Try to find, if you can, try to find your own solution to your problem. If you're like me and you're depressed, very depressed, and like post-traumatic and all this type of stuff, or the past is haunting you, like in my poem, tries to depict that anyway. And there are natural ways of, except like Becky with her painting, she has a way of expressing herself. For me, even just watching her painting has a therapeutic effect sometimes when I'm watching her paint. So helps me to relax, in a different way than listening to music, but it has some similarities to music. The music, the colors corresponding in a way to the tones in the scale of in the 12-note scale or whatever. But chromatic scale is what I meant to say. Have you ever heard someone say, "Oh, that's a loud shirt"?
Yes.
Right. So that's where you see it. Like I love these little expressions, you have in language, that are real esoteric gems, or wisdom gems. Because another one is something that strikes a chord in you, and I'm thinking, wow, what a there's another one, and that's what I'm talking about. It's a chord that is struck in me, which is disturbs me, which is my past, and then which is preventing me from functioning fully in the present. And not always, but a lot of the time, it's a disturbance, a strong disturbance. And I'm just hoping that somebody out there, first and foremost, I'm not here to moan and groan about my own situation. It's so that other people who may recognize something similar in what I'm describing, and then hopefully they won't feel as alone with what they have, because psychiatry and big pharma, they don't help you to fix the cause of your ailment. So
just watch that movie, The Secret of Psychiatry, that documentary. It's really eye-opening. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's a few documentaries I've seen on that.
I've got that one in particular. I think.
Just looking.
I watched it like a minute. God.
In fact, there's. I think we've touched on this before, but there's a Scientologist. Is that the one that was made by the Scientologists? Yes. Yeah. Beware of Scientology, but they do have a good documentary.
It is a good documentary. Yes. that's an oxymoron.
Then afterwards, you can move on to the videos exposing Scientology. What it is after you've done that. But I mean, even without a video, if you look into the history of psychology and then psychiatry, coming straight out of Nazi Germany, and Big Pharma and IG Farben are two. Now, IG Farben is a company that is worth researching, and also you have. People like Josef Mengele's trauma-based mind control. He was one of those who were exported with Project Paperclip, I think, when they exported after the Nuremberg trials, exported. There are different numbers, but I've come across at least 30,000 often. So scientists, Nazi scientists, to the Americas and Canada, and probably elsewhere in South America as well. But I know less about that part. But and then you look at, what they've tried to pass off as therapy or a cure is either hammering an ice pick through your front temporal lobe. That's one of them, as in Dr. Freeman's ice pick lobotomy. Frightening how long they were allowed to continue that practice. It is. That's crazy. It's funny how they call it a practice, because what are you practicing there? You're warming up for something.
Yeah, I know, really. What the hell?
And then even today, we still have so-called electroconvulsive therapy, electroshock, still being used here in Norway. Basically, what it is, it's just torturing you into submission. That's what it is. That's all it is. And then you get these guys. They put out a lady or a guy who's gone through the so-called treatment. They put out an article here and there or a little video once in a while, saying, and you see the guy or lady interviewed saying, "Yes, I feel so much better now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I mean, they've had their brain cells fried and they tortured into submission. And I just it's horrible for me to think. The amount of people I know who have ended up in institutes here in Norway and in other countries, but the things that go on behind those closed doors. Please try to avoid that if you can. So, it's a horror story. Just looking at the history of it, and then you can look at other figures like Skinner, and then you can look at the history of behaviorism, and more recently behavior modification, as they call it. That's another one to another keyword to do searches on. You'll find plenty of articles on that if you just search on behavior modification on the internet. And you might even find a video on it or something.
There's a good movie about that actually called "Disturbing Behavior," where they go in, they put some kind of chip in these in high school students' brains. It's an experiment. And they're grooming them to be like the world leaders they were and stuff. But anyway, you didn't have to watch the movie, but it's really good. It talks about that kind of stuff. mind control and everything. Well, they, like I said, they put the chip in your brain. So,
Yeah. There's something flashing on the screen there. I don't know if it's just on my end. Seems a bit. Oh,
it's on your end.
It's on my end. Yeah. There's some very strange things going on. And now you're kind of flashing up and disappearing. At the moment, you're invisible.
It's. Are you on Chrome or Firefox?
No, the same one I always use, which is the only one that I have that works in the Hangouts. And it hasn't done this. It hasn't done this before. So.
It's either pushing everybody to Chrome. That's why. So.
Yeah. I noticed that. And I've been recently watching again this documentary series, which is brilliant, and plenty of watching. It's called The First Australians. You can find it on YouTube. I mean, I think there's at least 7 episodes, maybe more. I've watched about 5 or 6 of them now just recently, and I highly recommend anyone to go through The First Australians series. So number 2, A Will to Survive, episode 2, episode 3, Freedom for Our Lifetime, etc. Just to for those who out there who want to deepen their understanding of how we are controlled, don't miss that series, and also the methods used on the original Australians are strikingly similar to methods used in the Americas and in other places. So this colonialism and usurping of the lands, raping and pillaging, killing off the already existing populations, and taking it for themselves, and then they put the face of the Queen on it, you know. Dear, you know, and you know, there's so much control that it's hard to feel free these days, to be honest. But I'm still clinging on to the last threads of freedom.
Yeah, it's just I've just been ignoring all that shit, to be honest. You know, the news and stuff. You know, I might say some things here and there I share with people and stuff, but that's about it. You know, so
Right.
I'm trying to. I'm just, you know, got the kids at home and stuff, and doing this too. So,
yeah. I'm just going to try refreshing this because it's playing up, so I'll be hopefully back in a jiffy.
Okay, no problem. Everybody's been having troubles lately, so. But like I said, anybody wants to join there, let me know.
I refreshed it and it's still doing the same thing. How about that? Lovely, charming.
Of course. Now I've been doing stuff on my my backup channel. This is my backup channel, of course, but I have a backup to my backup, and I've been doing stuff off and on it for about a week. Just short things and stuff. It's the Rebecca Lynn. I think you're subscribed to it too. But yeah, I might be popping in there every now and then, expectedly. So.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'll ever. I've got 2 weeks on me. I don't know if I'm going to be living in a place or more likely in the woods or where I'm going to be. So, so I just thought, I had the chance to pop in now. It's a shame it's playing up because I want to see what you're painting there, and it's like it flashes up like 2 frames or just 1 frame, and then you're gone again. So it's a bit strange.
That's Google for you.
So I wish I could see what you're painting. Is it might inspire me to say something. So, looks like I might have to install that blasted chrome thingo after all. And I mean, crikey.
Yeah, it's like they're pushing everybody to that shit.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Hey to everybody there watching. All three of you now. Anyway, it's Friday night, so you know, people be popping in and out, I reckon. I'm painting a picture, and I got a few things to show too. So,
oh, cool! Now I can see you too. So I managed to. I just went out of. Yeah. Anyway, I fixed it. I just found trick of the trade. So yeah, they decided to throw me out after I blew my lid a couple of times, but I had very good reasons to blow my lid.
yeah.
So they obviously couldn't take that, so they put a letter in my. I've got the letter here. Short letter. Actually, I've got several, but to me, okay. Yeah, no, it's all in Norwegian. I don't even know if I can be bothered to translate it. They were telling you that you have to be out of here by the 20th of the 8th, 20th of the August. So I only got this, what?
That's the eclipse time too.
Well, I mean, these people aren't as nice as I first thought they were. I mean, they've had their good sides. I kind of tried to overlook a couple of things in the beginning because I thought it was a bit strange, you know, and I just overlooked it because they were so nice otherwise.
Yeah.
And well, up to a point, and then you realise that, oh dear, you know, it's not. Life isn't always a kettle of roses. Yeah, no. I mean, when I first moved here, I was getting terrible, life-threatening electric shocks in the shower, and then it got worse and worse until I got so electrocuted that I was having trouble getting out of the shower. So I was just, you could see the sparks jumping around all over the place. You know, it was just crazy. And I tried reaching out. You know, I tried getting out, but I couldn't move because I was getting electrocuted. And then eventually managed to reach out to the tap, but that was a bit of a job while I was getting full electrification or whatever. So, but I did manage to get out of there, but it was heavy. You know, it could have killed me. So, and I mentioned this to because you know whoever put the fuse box in this place needs a kick in the head because they put it like a meter away from the toilet.
Oh my God! What the hell? That's retarded.
Yeah. So imagine you're sitting. You want to sit on a toilet seat, as people often do.
Oh yeah.
And to the right of mine, you know, I'm sitting and my head is, if I want to sit on that loo seat, my head is a few centimeters away from the fuse box.
Damn.
Yeah, which is metal as well. So you get a big splash. You're going to get a big electric shock.
No wonder he's getting electrocuted in the damn shower. My God.
Yeah, I mean, they've put the wiring too close to the water and it's crossed over at some point. But anyway, so when the point was that when I mentioned this to the people who've now thrown me out, they just looked at me blankly and said nothing. I thought Yeah. I
Oh
thought,
my God.
I just almost got electrocuted to death in your shower, and all you can do is look at me blankly, I'm thinking. So I thought, okay, yeah, okay, it's great. It's good that someone's reacting. Thanks for reacting on my behalf there, because that was, that's what they should have been saying or something, like, oh, damn, or something.
Yeah.
There's no reaction. They just looked at me, and they looked at me blankly. I almost thinking afterwards, after all the shit I'd been through before I moved here as well, being targeted and all this, followed everywhere, and all this rubbish. I thought, oh God, start getting slightly paranoid. Maybe it was set up to try and kill me, and then they were amazed I was still alive, But I thought, no way, I don't think so. Even though these are Red Cross people, but the whole family is Red Cross, in fact. Yeah, and they've got the Red Cross indoctrination as well. I can just tell. You can tell from tidbits here and there that pop out of their mouths. But yeah, so that was something I kind of just went past that one. I thought, not going to make anything big out of it, but I just thought it was very strange that it was like a cold, reactionless stare from both of them, actually. The one guy, he passed away a couple of years ago now, but anyway, so, and then it's been all the other stuff that's been going on, which I won't go into now because I probably said that before, but you've heard it all before anyway. But and now, on top of everything, I'm thrown out. So I'm feeling pretty stressed. In fact, I've been so stressed that my blood pressure has gotten so high. I started bleeding out of my spots.
Oh God.
Where you get your acne, you might squeeze a spot and you might have a small scab there. Even without doing anything, suddenly blood starts leaking out, because my blood pressure and the stress. I'm more relaxed now because it's nice to hang out with you.
Something work out.
Got my therapy now. I've got my painting therapy.
Me too. No.
Yeah. It's good. I like it. Loving it. So yeah, no, I'm trying to think of something positive, Becky, and you're giving it to me at the moment. I've got a lot of cleaning up to do, and I'm hoping to manage to do most of it, but it's like it's a lot of stuff to get rid of, and it's making it very difficult because I get my payout 2 days before. I've got 30 krona. Otherwise, I'd hire a car now and start cleaning out the stuff now. Hire a car to drive out this rubbish, or get someone, which I would have to pay them, obviously. So, but seeing as I don't have any money, I'm not asking for anyone for any money. It's not the reason I'm mentioning it, but so in a way, luckily, my payout is on the 19th. I have to be out on the 20th, and my payout will hopefully come in on the 18th, which is not the next Friday, but the Friday afterwards. And then it's 2 days from my payout, and then it just happens to be the weekend that I have to be out of here. And then I don't even know where to go. I have nowhere to put my things.
Yeah.
And I have no phone, etc. There's no phone I can borrow here because I don't want to have anything to do with them. They have a phone, but anyway, so it's a very difficult situation. So I'm desperately looking for a solution. But although I won't say there may be a solution, but I won't mention it because it might bring bad luck or something. So
That's that work out there.
we'll see. Yes.
Got to stay positive.
Well, yeah, I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. I'm going to look at my last tobacco here. Got enough for one more sort of roll up here. And where else to have it but here, in the hangout. Trying to think if I've got anything new to say that I haven't really said before. I just, end up repeating yourself too much.
I know, yeah. That's why I just sometimes I'll just paint and you would say,
Yeah. I tried playing a bit of guitar today. Wasn't totally hopeless. My thumb's coming back into place. Busted thumb for a while, but now I think I can start playing the guitar again, which is good, because if I end up homeless, which is more likely than not in 2 weeks, then the guitar, it's going back to my old survival techniques. I was just traveling around with my guitar on foot.
Yeah.
It was on foot before. It was just me, the guitar.
hey, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I travelled all over, well, not all over Spain, but in mostly southern Spain, in Andalusia. Had all sorts of adventures with my guitar, flamenco adventures, and once actually I walked over 500 kilometers from Valencia. I was coming from Mallorca, took the ferry over to Valencia. Didn't enjoy it much in Valencia and started walking back towards Andalusia, and I didn't have a map. I just walked in what I knew was the general direction, and took it, by feeling, intuition. I didn't really have I didn't have much money left either, so I did try busking, and then I tried hitchhiking, but it was raining a lot, so nobody stopped, and I ended up at this. I was walking for 3 days, almost without food, with my bag and my guitar, and nobody would stop because they wouldn't have a drenched guy in their car, I guess. But I mean, outside Andalusia, people went so easy. It wasn't so easy to hitchhike outside Andalusia as it was within Andalusia. People are much more helpful, it seems, or at least in my experience in Andalusia. But it's a poorer area, and people are more used to helping each other rather than the system intervening, necessarily. Well, at least when I was living there, there was still some of that going on. But so anyway, and I sat down. It was raining. I was getting worn down, and I'd survived because I played in this. There was this restaurant for truck drivers. I just walked in there. And they were a real flamenco enthusiast, so I ended up playing for them, and I got food and some drink, and then I could keep walking. And then there was some guy, he stopped, he drove me a few kilometers. And there was some other guys, they drove me 7 kilometers, so I didn't walk the entire way, but I only got tiny hitchhikes. But then I got in this, careful hitchhiking, folks. That's why that's why I walked most of the way, because I ended up in this van with these guys, and they thought they were going to do something else with me than take me to the. They didn't stop and let me off at the junction. I said, look, this is the place I'd like to get off here, please. And they didn't let me off. They didn't stop. And they were speaking in Valenciano, which is a dialect of Catalan. Yeah. And I don't speak Catalan, I speak Castellano. Castellano. And it was difficult to understand everything they were saying because they were speaking very fast in a thick Valenciano dialect. But I soon realised. And they went over to this door, right? And they knocked on this door, which. Oh, whoops! You got someone. Go
ahead. Go ahead.
So he goes over and he knocks on their door. On this door, which looked almost like a stable door on this little house, because it was in 2 halves, you can open the top half and there's a bottom half. And this guy sticks his head out and they point over towards me. They park the van a few meters away, and they go on and they knocked on this guy's door and they're pointing at me and they're saying something like "fular, fular," and I thought, not bloody likely, mate. So I had to actually just kick the door open. I was locked in there. Yeah. So I kicked the door open in the back of the van, walked out, and gave them the finger, and I said, "F you, I'm out of here," And they just looked surprised. They were surprised, actually. Yeah, they thought maybe my bottom was for sale or something.
Bug. Hey, y'all in the chat there. Hey, James. And everybody else. Anyway, somebody say hello. Say hello.
Another time, did I ever tell you this a time about a guy with a stocking on his head? That's another experience. Oh, no, I have to finish the story about this. No, okay, I was hiking. Remind me of the stocking, if you will, if we run out of things to talk about. Anyway, so I've been walking for 3 days, and I've had all these different experiences, and I'm sitting on the bridge cleaning the rain off my glasses a bit, and then I hear this it's the rhythm por bulería, and I'm thinking, what am I hearing? Things? Where's this flamenco coming from? And I look over, and there's this little group of cortijos, like little farmhouses. There's these plantations there, and there's 3 Roma gypsy Gitano Romani families who are living there, having a full party. They had looked like half a truck full of beer, and they had no guitarist. It was all I mean, a lot of pure flamenco happens without guitar anyway, you know, because it's spontaneous. There's a lot of clapping, footwork, rhythmic stuff, and the singing, of course, but and the dancing. But they didn't have a guitarist, so I kind of just walked over there just to see. And they invited me in straight away, and hey, and you play the guitar? I said, yeah. And so, well, get it out, let's listen then. And so I played for them. He says, and then they, all the children, the Romani children, their faces when they were gathered around with their fascination. It was so, who is this pale-faced? They didn't know I had Romani blood though, but it was probably too pale for them to believe such a thing, because pretty dark-skinned Roma. But they were fascinated, these children. And then one of the younger. No, but not the youngest, but one of the kind of young lads says to the other one, and then buscar el viejo. Go and look for the old man, el abuelo, the grandfather.
Yeah.
And so they go off. Some people they scurry off to try and find this old man. And because they heard me play a bit, and now suddenly they want this old man there. So there and they gave me a beer and something to eat, and they're playing this. And this elderly Romani man with a walking stick and a traditional hat came over. He sat down, very gracious, very special presence. He had a very special. Just him being there, just coming there, was like something very special, you know. You could tell from the excitement of when they rushed off to get him, you know. And he says, "Tu sabes tocar por alegría? Do you know how to play alegría, accompany alegrías?" And I said, "Yeah, a little bit." And he says, "Great. And do you know how to accompany seguiría?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So he sang the most incredible seguiría, which I accompanied. Is probably the best accompanying I've ever done. When I think about it, some of the best attempts I've ever done. It came together a moment. It was the most flamenco, the most flamenco moment in my life.
That's the thing you never forget. There,
And then he sung all the seguirías is very, very sad. It's all about, suffering, death, and persecution, and sad things. Seguirías is to let out your you need to get into flamenco to figure out what a seguirías is. Let's put it that way. And then he sang an alegrías, which is a happier style. So, and that was it. Those were the two he sang, and then. The party went on, and then I ended up getting in. One of the younger lads, he was probably about 18, 19, wanted to borrow my guitar, but he started using it more like a a plank rather than a guitar.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my precious guitar. I shouldn't have lent it out really, but and slapping it around a bit too hard, and then he pulls a knife on me when I try to get my guitar back. Yeah, so no, but I mean, I understand the Romany temperament, so I still managed. I went over to him. I still managed to get my guitar.
Yeah.
And he didn't stab me or anything because I kind of tackled the situation in a way that I felt worked at that moment. But then I took the guitar and I left straight away, obviously.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Man. That sucks. Somebody ruins it like that,
Yeah, but I mean, at least it was good while it lasted. And then there's another story which has nothing to do with this journey, but it was still from Andalusia when I was living almost 5 years in Andalusia.
Yeah.
And my mum rented this place in Fuengirola. I'm on the third floor. We're on the third floor. I've got my own bedroom, and the windows are open. It's more or less full storm. The curtains are flapping in the wind. It's a Saturday night, and the lights off, and I've got my windows wide open because I like the breeze. Anyway, I was kind of half asleep in bed. I turn over in my bed, and imagine, the silhouette of a head coming up over the windowsill, which is the last thing you expect because you're in a block of flats, which is I'm on the third floor, but it's like 20 stories high or something, and the whole thing is on legs. So the last thing you're expecting is a head. Right, the silhouette of a head rising up over the windowsill, literally a couple of meters away from me. Because my bed was right next to the window. About a meter away. So I see this silhouette rising up. This is my camera. This silhouette, right, and it's this head, and it comes over the windowsill. And then this person, he climbs in. I thought, am I seeing a shadow person? Because I wasn't sure if I was asleep or if I was awake, And then there's this guy standing next to my bed with a black stocking pulled over his head.
Oh my God.
And he's standing there, and I'm lying in the bed, and he's standing like right here. And I'm going, what do you want then? And I'm thinking, and he starts putting his hand in his pockets, right? He starts putting his hands in his pocket, looking for something. I thought, I don't know if I'm awake or if I'm asleep, mate. But I ain't taking any chances, so I flew on him and threw him around the room a bit because he was about to pull something on me.
Yeah.
So, good job I was quick to respond, because it's not every day you get someone with a stocking on your head coming in through the window.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so I threw him around the room. I actually threw him up against the windowsill. It wasn't very big, so it was quite easy to lift him up, and ran through the room with him, threw him into the desk, and I took him, threw him onto the floor, and I punched him around a bit. Sorry about the violence, folks, but when you've got a guy who's about to pull something on you with a stocking on his head, you're not going to take any chances, I tell you.
Definitely not.
I'm not going to be sitting there waiting for help from the so-called authorities.
Be dead time I fucking got there.
Anyway, so and I got hold of him. He wasn't making much resistance. So I managed to get hold of him because I thought, because I don't have my glasses on, we're in a dark room. I don't know what he might have in his hands. I had to be really careful. So I mean, he could already have had a knife in his hand. So I got really good hold on him, and I managed to get him out of my bedroom. And then my mum comes out of her bedroom and she sees me trying to hold this guy with a stocking over his head, and you should have seen the expression on her face. I said, Mum, can you open the door for me? I want to chuck the rubbish. And she just nods like this, and then she goes over and opens the door. And I was so full of adrenaline, I kind of just threw him out so he slid across the floor. And the last I remember seeing of him is that he's sitting on his butt on the floor after having slid across. And the only facial feature I could see through this black stocking was his eyebrows raised, really surprised, because I think he didn't expect anyone to be in that room. That's why he was doing the cat burglary thing. right there. And how did he get up the first part? He turned this like a sports goal on its end, and then climbed up that to get up the first part, and then there were like bits you can hang on to and climb up the rest. But nevertheless, he was a good climber, but not a good fighter. So, but I don't think I hurt him too badly. And there you go. Hopefully not.
That's crazy.
Mm. Oh, I had so many, literally so many experiences like this that well, not exactly like that, but like crazy experiences in my life that it would make more than one book, or it would make one really fat book. I even thought of doing like a really long video, stories from my life or something, or blah blah blah.
James says stockings are good to block the midges where he lives.
The what?
Little mosquito midges. They're like mosquito-like bugs.
Are the stalkers?
Midges. They're bugs.
Oh right. Yeah, but I didn't get the whole gist of it. Sorry, I couldn't catch.
The stockings are good to block midges.
Oh yeah, stockings. Oh right. I thought you said stalkers. Stalkers are good to block midges, and I'm thinking I'm trying to figure this one out, Becky. Now you. Wow. I thought maybe I'm brain damaged now. I just that
Are you
one.
sure you're smoking tobacco, David?
No, it's just tobacco. The tobacco is stalking me, but nothing else. And it's midge free. So, yeah, midges. Those little, those tiny ones.
Yeah.
I haven't seen many of those. It's almost like they got.
They're everywhere there in Scotland.
Yeah, I got bitten really badly by midges in Wales.
Man, I've got mosquito bites all over my arms and legs too. Look, they're bigger than midges, but man, oh my god! It's like they made a pattern on my arms and legs. I'm looking at them, like, oh my god! You could like write something.
Yeah, no, it isn't fun. It isn't fun when you get stung a lot. What some Sami do anyway, because there are so many mosquitoes in Finnmarksvidda, the summertime obviously, none of the winter, but what they actually do is they have this thing where they sit out and allow themselves to be stuck everywhere by the mosquitoes. You sit basically virtually naked and allow yourself to be stung all over your body, because it provokes a bodily readjustment, and it readjusts itself to the poison. So whatever it is. So though I mean, I used to have this terrible reaction because I got grass pollen. There was a certain time of year, grass pollen allergy as well. I think it was because they were not only just stinging me, but also putting grass pollen or some other pollen in me at the same time, because I was getting like, one mosquito sting. Yeah. I got a lump so big on my forehead I couldn't get my hat on. I got a lump so big on my face here that my glasses weren't resting on my nose anymore. And I've got a big nose. I mean, a pretty big nose. I mean, it sticks out, So I mean, it was, and then it left like this big donut marks on my legs. Yeah. Which is like a purple bruise, and then it goes yellow and purple, and it looked like a jam tart, right? Really, or a jam donut gone wrong, Like. I
was going to say, James there said you should write a book.
Really? Somebody thinks I should write a book, James.
You should write a book. Yeah, there you go. There's you some money.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 3 books already in my head. Just I haven't got them out on paper. Because, and if I had a typewriter, I would do it. I don't want to do it on the PC because it will
crash. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't want anyone to hack into it before. I don't want anyone to be able to see it before I make it available. Yeah. So I would either have to write it by hand. And
you can do that,
Yeah, I definitely want to write. I mean, I've never written a book. I have a children's book that I've written in my head, but I have to do the paintings and the drawings.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be an awful lot of work. If I find a new place to live, I'll do it, because being too definitely do it. I mean, you've seen my Bop the Dragon rough sketch. That's the main character for my my book, which is called Bop the Dragon and the Mysteries of the Labyrinth. I've got the whole thing written in my head. It's all in my head. The only thing that's a little bit vague is how I'm going to end it. I've got like different ending possibilities, but the rest is like more or less crystal clear, the whole story. So I won't give away too much there, but I can say a little bit. It's about Bop the Dragon. The Mysteries of the Labyrinth is about a certain labyrinth that you can find in real life on this planet. And he goes on a journey discovering different stories that connect to this labyrinth in different places in the world. So that's just a little hint of so it's basically a fictional character, but it's also there are some real stories and some real research that goes into it, so that you get something of some historical value or something, looking at things which are interesting, as in the sevenfold universal labyrinth, as they call it. I'm tempted to say more, but I mean, I can say a little bit more.
Don't give everything away.
I remember it. I mean, I've got a good memory. Even when I got hit in the head by a car, I still remember all this stuff. So
that's good.
I repeat it. If you repeat things a lot in your head, it strengthens the memory of it. So even if you have a head accident, I've had a lot of head accidents. So I must have repeated a lot. Otherwise, I wouldn't be functioning at all by now. But no, I won't say too much more about the book. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. And you talk about the head thing. That can, there's been cases where, it's totally changed the person, getting the knock on the head. Where I know Oasis, I watched that Supersonic movie, and the lead singer, he had no desire whatsoever to be a singer. And he got whacked in the head with a hammer, and he all of a sudden, he wanted to be a singer. That's all he could think about. But it changed him like that. And, that can happen to people. You get a knock on the head hard enough, and it will.
I hope it wasn't.
Can change you.
I hope it wasn't the ritual of the third degree.
No. It was a teenage thing, I guess.
Right. Because it sounds almost like code for the Blue Lodge ritual.
No, it wasn't. I mean,
about the ritual of what's his name? A beef? No. Crikey! Memory lapse. Arim Abif, is that his name? I've never had a problem remembering his name before. He's supposed to be the architect of King Solomon's temple.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a part of one of the. This is an important name that I'm trying to remember now. It just slipped my memory right now. Something a beef. I can look it up afterwards or something if it's interesting for anyone. Who was supposed to be the architect for King Solomon's temple, and this is what the ritual goes around, where they kind of do a mock version of knocking you on the head with a hammer, because there were people who came who wanted the secrets of Abif. What's his name? Arim Abif, maybe it was, or something. And from what I can remember, that's where the Masonic ritual comes from. I'll try looking it up because I just want to remember his name right. So much to remember.
I'll never forget getting hit in the head with a rock when I was a kid. I got hit right back here by my cousin. The rock, it was this big. I'll never forget that.
I can't see how big it is now because I'm doing a search, but
it was really big. So
right.
And I had to go to school too. So that was not pleasant.
Oh, that sounds pretty. Oh yeah, it was Hiram Abif, of course. Yeah, here it is. It's even on Wikipedia. Can you believe it? Hiram Abif, Hiram Abif, or the widow's son, of course, which is a code word, a Masonic code word as well that you'll hear repeated in many things. You'll also see it in the film "The Man Who Would Be King." You'll see also the Sean Connery brandishing the square and compass and G of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, and then he also, I think there's a reference to the widow's son there in the train in the scene there somewhere. But anyway, yeah, the Hiram Abif, or the widow's son, is the central character of an allegory presented to all candidates during the third degree in Freemasonry. Hiram is presented as the chief architect of King Solomon's temple, who is murdered in the temple he designed by 3 ruffians during an unsuccessful attempt to force him to divulge the master mason's secret passwords. The themes of the allegory are the importance of fidelity and the certainty of death, and also the keeping of secrecy is also one they don't mention here. Yeah. Yeah, well, fidelity, what does that mean, really? Oh no, there's loads more written on it here. The tale of Hiram Abif, as passed down in Masonic lodges, underpins the third degree. So you know also when you hear someone, on both sides of the Atlantic, we use the same expression, giving someone the third degree.
Yes.
You shout them down, you give them a real hammering.
I never thought about that.
With your voice. Yeah?
Oh my goodness.
It comes from.
I never thought of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and you also have a group called the 3 Degrees.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They seem pretty good. But that's where the expression comes from. So.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not. I don't think that's mentioned here in this article, though. But I'm just throwing that in there for good measure. Let's see. See if there's anything else here. Quite a bit.
You want your thunder?
Well, okay. Anyway, so I mean, that's a start for those who want to know about how the world works. Look at Freemasonry. Good place to start, as any is here on my beef. That's usually what I often mention to people at the start.
I wanted to mention, we were talking about how getting knocked on your head changes you, and James says people have had head knocks and started speaking different languages. It's weird, but it's true. Yeah. That might explain some of the weird shit that I paint too. Thanks for that. That makes a little sense there.
How big was the rock? Because I couldn't see you when you were talking.
It was this big.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, it was big. And compared to the one I hit him with like this big.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I've got a bit more tobacco though. I'll try and squeeze out a bit of left there as well. There's a bit more. Okay, it's not that bad. I can get another one going in. Social habit. And sometimes antisocial habit. There's a town not far from here. I've mentioned this before, though, I think. But it's one of the towns where they're trying to make it illegal to smoke outside.
Yeah. That's the UN thing there. That's they're trying to do that worldwide.
Yep.
So yeah.
It's the usual gradualism. They try it here, they try it there, and then suddenly it's everywhere. Although I think they've had a hard time so far doing the antis, because here in Norway, and I'm not sure how much, but I think in several places in Europe, it's harder to smoke in bars now than it was before.
You can't hear at all.
Yeah, and you can't hear at all, hardly at all either. And so you have to go outside to smoke. But in Andalusia, you can still find bars where you can go inside and smoke because they haven't been as easy to bend into the predefined shape that the elites want them to fit into, that mold, you know.
I know that resort I worked at, you know, I worked at a bar and grill and couldn't smoke in there. And more than one occasion, you know, it would be after hours and we'd be waiting on the others to leave, you know. And I would go in there with a cigarette and I'm thinking, you know, and they got cameras and they never said anything, you know. So
Right.
just a habit, you know.
Yeah, I mean, this town I was talking about, which isn't too far from here, it's about maybe 50 kilometers away or something. Maybe not as much as that. That's when I was hospitalized there just for a night or two, a couple of nights, and a place I usually try to avoid, but it was critical, so I had to be rushed off. And that's when I found out that when I went outside to have a cigarette outside the hospital in this town called Gjøvik in Norway, it was actually no smoking signs outside.
Damn.
Yeah, but then, you know, it took me a while to notice that, because only, and this is after I lit up my cigarette, turned around, and there's all this like, no, you can't smoke here, mate, and there's a camera pointing at you, you know, and I thought, oh, crikey. And then, you know, can't even stand outside and smoke. But they did have looked like a little bus shelter, a tiny little bus shelter with an ashtray further down, like about 10 meters away or something, which I noticed afterwards. So like an allocated place, yeah, you can sit there and smoke, but you can't do it anywhere else. Oh, my God.
I mean, there's a factory where they make medical supplies around. It's like in the north of the county that Baxter Healthcare, they do the IV bags and some other stuff, I think. But they had, you know, you could smoke outside in the smoking areas, and then they got to where you couldn't even smoke in your car. You couldn't smoke anywhere on the premises, right? Okay. You had to walk off the premises to smoke. Will you not do that, please? Hang on a second. I'm going to lose my thought here. But anyway, this guy was leaving the premises to go smoke, and he got hit by a car. After that, because of that.
Whoa.
Give me just a second here. Okay, sorry about the show. She wanted to know when I was going to go outside. I said, I hear thunder, so.
We had a bit here today. It was a very intense downpour, but very short. It lasted a very short time. It was like the whole bathtub coming down on you.
Yeah.
All at once, you know. Instead of like having little holes in the bucket, they just emptied the whole tub.
Whoosh.
Yeah.
Man.
That's. Okay.
Oh, but what's that story I was telling? What's funny is the guy that got hit, the person that hit him, was his stepsister. Their dad's stepsister was the one that hit this guy. Yeah, and she went to jail over it. She went to prison over it. Dude, I think it killed him, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a twist to that story. She's a relative.
My God.
Anyway, I did have a few things to show here. I'm gonna go ahead and do. I'm not going to show them all. Let's see. I'll put links below. Some stuff I found interesting. There's one. three there that I'll show you right now. Okay. Let me present myself here, y'all. There we go. Art from trash is anything that's trashy. This GLEAN art project finds beauty in garbage. You know, I've seen people do that around here actually.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of places where people find useful bits and bobs in garbage. You know, it's in fact a lot of one place in Oslo called Hausmania. There's a guy I know there who makes some amazing stuff out of scrap metal he finds, but I mean he's really good with metal, you know, so he can weld and hammer and weld, and he's got his anvil and all the rest of it. So and he makes these sculptures out of bits and bobs. So it reminded me of that, what you're showing me.
Yeah. This is in Portland, Oregon. That's an exhibit coming up with this stuff. It's at Metro Transfer Station on Northwest 61st Avenue. You live in that area, I know. That's the other side of the country here. So that stuff is really interesting. So it's a 55
I don't know if it's just me, but you're breaking up dramatically now. Maybe it's because you're sharing your screen. I hope it's just on my end and not for everybody. In fact, I can't hear you at all now. Try saying something now.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you better now. It's crackling a bit low, but yeah, while you were sharing the screen, I couldn't hear you.
I'll reload. I'll be right back. So.
I was just wondering if it was just. Okay, you're gone. It might just have been on my end because I've had a dodgy connection there. Oh well. That was you are, man. She's gone. Oh, yeah, she's back already. There you go.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
it does that every time I screen share stuff for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, it takes a bit more. Takes a bit more bandwidth. I don't know.
I'll just put the link in the chat there for it, so y'all can look at it.
Yeah, the chat. I'm following chats.
I'll just read this stuff then. And this is, well, I think I've seen this on another show the other day, I think, about how they're selling, let's see, what museum was it? The Berkshire Museum in Boston, in Pittsfield, Boston. They're auctioning off 40 pieces of art, and it's triggering an ethics dispute because they were gifts to the museum, but they can't pay their bills, so they're auctioning them. So they're having a big debate over this now. It's sparked a lot of controversy. So anyway, yeah. And they're selling Norman Rockwell. It's some of the paintings they're selling. Albert Bierstadt, Alexander Calder, and Charles Wilson Peel. But it's the Rockwell oil paintings that's people are the most upset about. So, anyways, there. I'll throw that in there too. Like I said, I have other stuff I'll put below since it messes with me screen sharing. So,
Right.
Here's another one about. It says, "Not a pretty picture. Modigliani exhibit closes amid claims of forgeries." In Genoa, however you say that, Italy. It recently closed 3 days ahead of schedule after suspicions arose that many of the paintings were likely forgeries. So the exhibit sponsor shuttered the exhibit on the evening of July 13th in order to assist in investigation of claims that 21 of the exhibit's 50 works, on loan from private collectors in Europe and the U.S. and from museums in the U.S., Italy, France, and Belgium, were fakes. Exhibit representatives said in a statement. They confiscated the contested works after Italian art critic Carlo Pepi filed a complaint with the Carabinieri headquarters for the protection of cultural heritage. The art police is what it says. They handle this kind of stuff, about art and antiquities too.
Right, you'll have to forgive me for a minute. There's some shooting going on outside here, so
Okay, no problem.
go and find out what's going on here.
Okay.
Just mute a bit. Sorry.
Okay. But anyway, I thought that was interesting there. So if it would let me put this in the chat, sometimes y'all let you put stuff in the chat there. Yoo-hoo, where'd that come from? Yoo-hoo. Anyways, there they are there. And that sucks that I can't screen share because of that. So I had some other stuff that was really cool I wanted to share too. So I'll just put all that below. I'll go ahead and do that now. So one is it's about a visually exciting art show that's fragrant too, about floral displays, and one nature's serenity celebrated a new art show. Body art on display, tattoos and the stories behind them at the U.S. Open of Surfing. Okay, one about the Seattle Art Fair and art competition. I forget where this one was from. It might have been New York. Some kind of competition. And a art cruise stops to see masterpieces by Gaudi, Dali, Picasso, and others. And the master forger will share secrets on board too. So I thought that was interesting there. That's from the 30th of July. So a lot of these are kind of like a week old or so, but I thought it was interesting there. So, and this is one I wanted to share too. A luxury watchmaker says it's a mistake to adapt to China's market, no matter how big the demand, because it takes away from the artistry of how they make them and stuff. So, and 6 things art can teach you about brands and marketing that you won't learn in business school. I don't like that. How they use the art to sell their things. So, and then the last one was art's power to disturb is also its gift. To put out a message. That's what I've been talking about a lot. Art with the message there. So, anyways.
Yeah, of course, art is used by.
See you, Jamie.
The art is used, art and music and sculpture and painting and everything is used by those who deem to control, because it's one of the most powerful, just think about the band is playing, the people leap up to dance. Yeah. That's how powerful music is. It moves you inside. Integral part of nature. It's a part of the. Some people even say the universe is made of music. Yes. A metaphor, a good word for it, or What is the music? The mathematics put to music. Put to melody. You know what I mean? There. No, but I mean, people say mathematics, and often I hear that they're trying to explain everything with mathematics. But
I'm not good at math.
I would just say personally, I would say that mathematics is an attempt to describe a natural phenomena.
Oh, yeah.
Right, but it always falls short.
Yeah.
Because if you can find mathematics in music, in painting, in dance, in anything you do, in sculpture, but you can't describe the soul of the person who's trying who makes that who's trying to express something from their soul, hopefully through that artwork, and then mathematics falls short. because that artwork might actually touch somebody else's soul in a way that also mathematics falls short of as well. So I mean, somebody was trying to tell me that they can make recordings that don't miss anything. The recording is as good as the original sound. I said that's impossible. That's just not possible. And we ended up having quite a heated argument about it. But I mean, sound is it's not just a line in the air. It's three-dimensional, at the very least, and really it reaches beyond 3 dimensions as well. So because or at least the audible dimension, because what we experience here, we can see the colors of the rainbow, we can hear the sounds with our ears. We have that limited frequency range in this world, but I mean, there are ways of sensing beyond that, which they don't teach you at school, folks.
No, they don't.
And then there's a whole load of fakery out there, which is there to mislead you too. But I promise you, it's already there. It's latent in you. They trained it out from you as a child, and they didn't beat it out of me completely, because I missed a lot of schooling. I missed a lot of schooling,
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was just thinking, because sound is actually, as I see it, is more than 3-dimensional, because the octaves go up beyond the audible range. So we can hear a segment of that sound with our ears. Other sounds we can hear with our body. You hear like you've heard of the brown. Have you heard of the brown note that they did some failed attempt in what's this MythBusters stupid program? Really stupid program actually. Where they. No, I don't have a television, but once in a while I end up at somebody's house and they might have had a MythBusters on or something, where they tried cooking an egg or something with some microwave, with some telephones, but in this case it was the brown note. So, but they just set it up to fail. There are ways of making someone drop a brown one if you play the right vibration to them. So. But then you're going to be feeling it in your bowels, so then you just play the note that resonates with their bowels, and you're going to have a wonderful time.
You can do your music. It can spark anything, like humming too,
Oh my God, someone's trying to ring me on Facebook. Oh my God, I have to tell them that. Oh, he just rang.
Oh my God.
Oh, just tell him.
I've never had that happen on Facebook.
I'll just tell him I'll call him back in a while. I am in a group. Oh, right now. Right now.
It never fails. Busy.
Shut up. Maybe I should send him the broadcast link.
Hang on.
I'll send him the YouTube link. If I'm still in the broadcast, this is went very quiet. Yeah, you're still there. Good. Okay.
I'm sorry, I had to discuss something there real quick.
Nothing to be sorry about, Becky. I was just I was looking at the wrong screen and I thought it went so quiet. So there's this really cool guy I met on the net. One of these few who actually dare to speak with you on microphone, because most people, they sit there typing away, I just find that too limiting. I can't communicate with people like that, really. I mean, I can, and I have to. I put up with it for a while, but I just, it's too limiting, when you remove the music of the voice, then you're removing a big chunk of the person, a big chunk of the expression,
Yeah,
seeing as we were talking about music, and there was this lady the other day who seemed friendly. She also, I think, knows this guy. I haven't spoken to him many times, but really cool guy. He's also listens, came up in a feed. He was posting some Alan Watt, not Watts, but Alan Watt, W-A-T-T, not to be confused, folks, those two. And I thought, oh, hello. And I ended up befriending him, and then we ended up having a few conversations. So it was really cool to actually meet somebody who dares to speak with a microphone, doesn't hide behind a keyboard. And someone who posts Alan Watt must understand a thing or two, I was thinking.
Yeah.
She certainly does. So I hope to meet up with him later. And I sent him to link to the broadcast, so you may have a new victim for your channel now. A willing victim, hopefully willing victim. So yeah, like you were saying, yeah, the music, and then I was thinking how that's used, and it's through and through. I mean, nearly all mainstream music is agenda based as well. I mean, it's embedded with trigger words. It's sometimes when you listen to a song, the words, you'll be digging the song, yes. But if the words enter your consciousness differently, if you're relaxed and just enjoying the song, you might not even be thinking about what the words mean. They just enter your consciousness. But if you actually look at the words, and I've mentioned this example before because it's one that often works very well, and that is the sound of silence. So if you just read the sound of silence without the music, it's hair-raising, and then read that and think about the technotronic age and frequency weapons and electronic warfare and in the world we live in today, and tell me it doesn't describe that, because I'm not going to start reading it out now, but that's something someone can do if it tickles their fancy. Just look up the lyrics for the sound of silence. I call it the sound of sausage, really, but no, I mean the sound of silence, and just read it without the music, and almost every person I've suggested that to, as I think it was suggested to me, actually, was blown away. Oh my God! So there you go.
Sorry, no, that.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Yeah. So I was waiting.
I was gonna just do this tomorrow, but I'm gonna be busy tomorrow too. So go swimming if it ain't raining. So.
Yeah, I've been swimming a couple of times in the fjord this year. It was good. It was really good. I used to. Oh, there's this magical little corner I like to go down to, and ended up meeting this guy actually who's renting. Last time I was down there, I ended up in a conversation with this guy who'd seen me playing the jaw harp outside the supermarket. And he says, "Aren't you that guy?" And he's walking his poodle dog, and he says, "You're the guy who was playing the jaw harp outside the supermarket." Yeah, that was me. I recognise you too. As I remember you walking past with your poodle, and we got into a conversation. He's probably, I would say, it's probably about 60, 65, probably 65-ish, Norwegian man who'd been to Oxford in England. I said, "Well, you weren't a member of the Burlington Club then, were you?" He said, "Burlington Club? What's that?" I said, "Well, oh, there you go. You see, it's just one of those little places where they filter off people." for their roles in for their future roles, as in Cameron. Yeah, and I said to him, well, you can find it on the net. He'd actually, he told me an interesting experience that he had. That he'd was in one of these parties because he was at Oxford. You get to meet these hoity-toities. So he'd ended up talking with Princess Diana and stuff. And apparently he'd gotten too close to her, and then suddenly the guards are pointing their weapons at him, and this guard comes up with a weapon, and then another one getting him down on the ground, and just because he was getting a little bit too close to Lady Di.
Yeah.
So, blooming Henrys.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I suppose when you're not a member of the club, you have to be a member of the club. Then you don't have to be treated in that way. You don't need that treatment.
Hello to our one viewer.
Oh, we've got one viewer.
Got one viewer. Woo.
Oh no, I'll frighten them all the way then.
No.
Oh. No, you've got three according to. Oh no, maybe not. No, it says three for me.
It's probably more than one. You know how they like to play. So.
Yeah. It's they're trying to make you depressed.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Is that like? Oh no, it says one for me now after I refreshed it. Yeah, you're right. Only one victim. I wonder who it is. Shame it doesn't tell you who it is, isn't it? Oh no, it went up a bit. It went down a bit.
I know she said she's been having issues with her internet and her browser too. So.
Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is.
Hello, guys.
Well, you might get some other. Didn't you get any other people to come into the wanting to come into your hangouts?
No. It's open. It's not open. I can't put the link down there and stuff. But anybody can join if they want to. I'll send it to them and stuff. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because if you put the link there, all the trolls turn up.
Yeah, as soon as I put it there, if I did, it'd be boom. No.
Yeah. I did do another. It's not often I write stuff. I did write another thing today, but I didn't kind of proofread it. So it's probably more or less what I was saying earlier in the broadcast. Stay away. This is what I wrote. Stay away from pills, if you ask me. It was bad, but after the pills, it is real bad. If you want to be a mess, you can be a pill popper, like so many victims who think it is medicine. Big Pharma, the global mafioso Nazi drug pusher, has operatives called psychiatrists that don't need to find you, as you go to them, having been trained like the salivating Pavlovian dog and clinging to the false doctrine diagnosis that never addresses the true cause of your ailment to be forever a slave to the substance. Looking at the history of psychiatry, psychology, and behaviorism is a grotesque horror reality of torture and death, with forced frontal lobe lobotomies and electroshock torture, along with mind control, hypnosis, MK Ultra, and NLP. Your conditioning is almost complete and ready for the death chamber. In so many ways, we are controlled, sometimes in ways that are hard to detect. Turn off your television set to start a part of the deprogramming, then chuck your mobile. Just get rid of it. As with it, you're giving up your freedom, as your every movement and action is tracked and recorded as they study your moves in the chessboard they erected as we tumble in their maze. Today I see almost only slaves, without the ball and chain, as they took your mind and you gave it away to the system, with its forced indoctrination and cults of death, false religions that preach peace but are cunning murderers doing the divide and rule of your mind and heart. I missed a word there. Okay, it's good. I proofread it now. I'm going to put an edit in there and put an and in there. Oh, is that what it's supposed to say? False religions that preach peace but are cunning murderers doing the divide and rule of your mind and heart. Oh, maybe I meant to put it poetically, like mind heart. I was feeling also poetic. Yeah. But even your soul, setting the masses up against each other on the grand chessboard for mass slaughter, and the hidden hand rubs its hands in utter glee, watching us dance to their tune, a bad vibration, a song that has cast its spell, and you dance, jerking to the string pull, and expect others to comply to the same insane norm, to justify your slavery in your mind. It seems we must all be slaves, ? Slaves to fake politics of Freemasons and club member mind games. Have you not looked for the hidden hand? ? Are you truly free? ? So that's what I wrote today. And nobody's looked at it, nobody's liked it. I couldn't really give a sausage. It was just a quick.
Yeah. You can put it in my community, creative space.
Oh right, sure. I mean, it's you'll see it. You can just copy and paste it if you want it. Or I don't know where the community is, but it's on Facebook.
Oh, okay. So I haven't been on Facebook much today. Yeah.
No, it's whatever. I mean, yeah. I've also posted that. I posted that if you go to my ever feel like going to my profile, you can find the first Australians posted there, and I was just trying to think. It's ages ago. I mean, once in a while, I do write the odd bit or bob, but I just don't like using a keyboard much. So, if I want to write something, probably I should do it on pen and paper. But okay, no, I have to scroll miles to. Absolutely miles to find anything I've written, because I post so much music all the time. I'm even posted Cambodian comedy in a language that I only know a few words in. So I'm watching like Cambodian comedy. I think it's fascinating. People probably think I'm nuts. I also listen sometimes to languages I don't understand on shortwave radio, like Tamil news or something, and then you realise that you're actually listening to Tamil sports news, and that's what, it took me a while to realise that. It was the fastest news reporting I've ever heard. It was like 10 million miles an hour.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it really was amazing. I thought, I was trying to decipher it, I thought, what are they on about? Like those, what do you call them? Kind of like, oh dear. What's the word for it? That's a word I haven't used in a long time. But these sellers who are at auctions, and they speak really, really fast. You know, like you've got them in the States there. They just go. You can't understand shit what they're talking about. I mean, how is anyone at the auction going to understand what's going on?
I do not know. That's what the guy said. How the thing you're even talking about? Is there a translator somewhere?
Yeah. If I was going to go to one of those, I might consider a translator. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to try and get another cigarette together, but it's getting more scarce. There's another one. Scarce tobacco. Yeah, I couldn't understand that guy. He was really fast, but yeah, listening to languages. I mean, for me, it's like listening to music. But
Yeah.
I like to listen to languages that I don't know how to speak or really properly understand, because you understand something nevertheless. There's something that comes through.
Yeah.
You know, the more you practice it, the easier it is when you travel around to kind of. You know, I remember when I first moved back to Spain. I mean, my Spanish was limited, very limited, so it was a lot of gesticulating. And then you know, but I mean, I was pretty fluent after. You know, I just sat and listened a lot, and after 6 months, I didn't say much for 6 months, and everyone was shocked when I just opened my mouth and started speaking Spanish after 6 months. I didn't have any Spanish classes, didn't have. This is from the age of 18 to 23, and roughly, no, or maybe 19 to 24 or something, whatever it was, and so I managed to pick it up by ear, you know, and you don't need to lose that you have it naturally when you're born. You know, there's no one telling you that this is what your mum is saying. A kettle, this is your kettle, you know, and then you know they do that to you later. You look at your mum pouring the water from the kettle, and you hear maybe someone saying, "Are you going to put the kettle on?" Or, "Yeah, should we have a cup of tea?" And then you know, as a child, you put two and two together, you figure it out. So that's what I do. That's how I continue to learn languages. You know, I try to exercise that, and then so I had to do it with Norwegian, because it's strange, isn't it? Because I was born in Norway, but I left Norway at the age of 1.5.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I'd had 1.5 years of listening to Norwegian, but then we didn't keep the Norwegian outside of Norway, so I had to relearn it, you know, like 23 years ago, whatever it is now, how long I've been in Norway now, 23, 24, maybe it's longer, I don't know. So yeah, anyway, so it was born in Norway, then we moved to Spain, so I was there for a while. But by the time I got to England, when my mum married this Englishman, my stepfather, I was speaking Norwegian Spanish mixture, and then gradually Norwegian Spanish English, and then quickly I readjusted. Well, not that quickly, but after a while I readjusted, because the other kids couldn't, my age, you know, 5-year-olds and stuff, they couldn't understand jack shit of what I was saying. So I realised that I needed to drop the Norwegian Spanish bit, and then I ended up forgetting it completely, almost completely, except for the fact that we had contact with flamenco, so I did know people understand a little bit of Spanish, and heard enough of Spanish regularly to recognise words. So when we moved back to Spain, although I listened to a lot of flamenco songs, I couldn't understand everything they were singing about. When I moved back to Spain, I picked it up really quickly. So 6 months, I think I impressed myself, and I opened my mouth. I impressed the local population because I spoke. They said, "You're speaking our dialect. Never heard you speak Spanish before. Now you're suddenly speaking Granadino." I thought, flipping it, that's a compliment. You know, I wasn't that close, but I mean, there was something going on, and yeah, I've always since then I've always spoken Spanish with a strong hint of a Granadino accent, which is the province of Granada in Andalusia, where we were living. Fascinating place, magical place, and mysterious. Where the Moors, you see, the Moors were in Andalusia. and then they were booted out. What was it? 800 years ago. No, they were there for 800 years and they were booted out 500 years ago or something. Anyway, you have this Palacio de la Alhambra, the red palace castle in Granada, which is Moorish architecture. And that was the last stronghold of the Moors, or one of the last strongholds of the Moors before they were booted back out of Spain. So it's a really interesting mixture of cultural influences in Andalusia. You have this Moorish architectural stuff going on here and there in many places in Spain, especially southern Spain, and you have the Gitano Romani influence in culture there as well for many hundreds of years now, at least 700 years, probably much longer than 7, and 800 years of Gitano history there, and flamenco, and you have Sephardic Jewish influences in some ways. So you go all different cultures, and of course the local culture there, which is there's a really wonderful, welcoming, warm people, really lovely people in Andalusia, in my opinion. I mean, I just find them so much more welcoming and hospitable is the word I'm looking for. Hospitable. Up here, it's not like that anymore. I mean, my grandfather was very hospitable to foreigners. He was one of the few people who liked to see foreigners, and he would invite them into the house if they turned up in Trondheim. I mean, this is further north in Norway. And he was looked at as an eccentric for doing that. I mean, I don't know.
Well, you know how it is here in America. Most people are like, no. Because like you said, we said the programming there. Too.
Yeah.
That's sad, really. Because, you think there was a time where we all used to roam freely, and they trapped us here in these places. Where you have to have the passport to go here, and they're coming state to state passports here. I've heard, and money too is what keeps us from going anywhere too. Because like me, I have no money to go anywhere. I can't even it's just to go to take him to work and back. That's for now anyway. And so. I'm hoping to get me a part-time job sometime soon. So.
Right. Yeah. What a life, eh? Wow.
Definitely. Okay, yeah. I'm going. I'd like to do 8 hours, but I don't. But I'm going to end it here in about 10 minutes or so, y'all. If you want to join, let me know there. I can just throw the link on in there because ain't many people watching. But so I can put it on my other channel and everything too. So I hate not finishing this, but it's far from done, and that would take 8 hours, more or less. I've been on there.
I can see that's going to take time. It's a big one, yeah.
It is, yeah. But how it goes with these big ones like that. You take a break and everything because you get tired from it. Because it does. Yeah. You're like you're putting your energy, literally putting your energy into it. So there's some of them that I've done, and I've just had to go to sleep after them. It was
Oh
so
yeah, it's the same.
you know,
Same with music, you know. It's the same with music. Yeah.
like this one up at the top there, man. That one was really tired. I had to go take a nap. So,
It's sometimes
yeah.
it just goes by itself when one is very inspired.
Yes.
If one is very inspired,
yeah.
it just
Oh yeah.
almost happens automatically.
Yes. Yes. that was one of them, you know, there. So, but that's my favorite one up top there now. So,
Ah,
and the second.
ah.
I got others that are favorites too, but you know, that's the ones right now, type of thing.
Right.
But, you know,
I'd have to see it in better detail because I can't see it
yeah.
in
I know
detail here, but I can
it's hanging on the wall there.
Right.
I'm gonna do a vid, it'll be in the form of a show because it's easier for me to do it that way instead of recording and uploading. So I'm gonna do one soon of what I've done since the last one I've done of my art work. That's the title of my artwork, but I'm gonna do one of them here in the next week or so.
Right.
Anyway, I hate I couldn't screen share none of my articles I had. Damn it! I wanted to talk about some of that stuff, but oh well. It's all below there. Modigliani fakes and them selling off art to pay for their bills at that one museum, and about how you can learn about marketing from art and the power of art to disturb. You know, you can send a message with it. You know, whatever you want them to send there. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And it's spreading good. You know, the you notice the flowers and things like that. It's something nice for people to look at. Plus, you know, there's like the ones with the weird writing on it. So that's a message too. Like I decode sometimes there. I do decode them all, but so they don't all get put out there. You know what I mean? Because some of them are personal to me.
Right.
Messages.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, there, y'all. I'll throw that link in there in the chat there. Y'all can join if you want there. So, just give me a sec here. I don't know if Foxy can click that link in the chat box or not. So we'll see. If you can't, I will send it to you. So yeah, you're more than welcome to join. So, and this is going a few minutes here. So, you know, if you want to wait till after to join. So, but I'll be doing the show next Wednesday, the Into the Void again. And then I'm probably do this one on. Because I can't tomorrow, I'll be busy. So, but and then I'll do various little ones in between on my backup to my backup there, the Rebecca Lynn channel. So, and some of them I'll put on my Rebecca channel. So, this one will be there sometime this week. Because it's 2 hours long, it will take a long time to upload. So, but anyways, y'all, thanks for watching and stuff. So, much love to everybody, and remember, you know, to be creative and let what's in you flow out into something good and put out a message there, whatever your message is. See you later. Have a good night.